Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to the Idea Garden. My name is Matt, and tonight we're incredibly honored to have with us Nia and Ness as part of Women's History Month Kingston. Amidst these very trying times, with the many challenges people have faced and continue to face, Nia and Ness provide an incredible message of courage and hope. We'd like to thank everyone from Radio Kingston for helping share tonight's performance. And following the show, there will be a Q&A. So please share your thoughts and questions in the comment section. To everyone out there, here are Nia and Ness performing Run Home.
These memories. They stay with us. They live in our bodies. So they go wherever we go. Everywhere we go. They stay in our bodies, even when our minds want to forget. And we do try to forget. Every morning, every new day, we open our eyes. We see each other. We breathe in. We say, I love you. We kiss. We smile. And then we get out of bed. And our bodies remind us of the danger we're in. Trembling in our jaws, kinks in our necks, aches in our shoulders, pains in our backs. Tell us exactly where we're holding our trauma. I got a stiff neck. Because when I walk through a crowd, I try to keep my head straight and avoid eye contact. And I got a tight jaw because I try to keep all emotion off my face. And the words out of my mouth. My shoulders used to be lighter, more flexible. My back straighter, less arched. Some days, I don't remember what it feels like to be soft, relaxed. I've seen everyone as a threat. So I'm always ready for an attack. Or to attack. Some days, I forget that she's not my enemy. I forget we're in this together, even though we fight differently. Like she's not concerned with showing emotion on her face. She prepares her heart to be broken by the world every day. Then comes home and repairs it, just to go out tomorrow and fight all over again. Love. All over again. And she'll say sometimes that her chest hurts, like really hurts. And I'll watch her when she sleeps. And I notice the pace of her breathing is quicker than mine. It's always been quicker than mine. And I don't know how you do it. How you still smile at people. She loves smiling at people. But smiling at the wrong ones has consequences. Like smiling at white people makes them think they're not racist. Makes them think they're doing more than they are, more than they should be. Makes them think they can touch your hair or tell black jokes or appropriate blackness and still call themselves allies. And we really hate having to say this, but smiling at black and brown men, even making eye contact with black and brown men, can be taken the wrong way. Can lead to harassment. Can be seen as your fault for whatever unwanted reaction comes next. She prepares for this by not wearing what she wants to wear, what she feels powerful and comfortable in. Like that tight dress that shows the strength in her curves and embraces her body, making her feel safe. Or that blouse that's only slightly see-through, only slightly revealing, only slightly allowing the world more access to the love flowing and glowing through her heart. She's had to rearrange her entire wardrobe just so she won't be harassed as much. Because she's still a black woman. And all black women and black girls are deemed sexually available. Like she told me, all black women and black girls go through so much shit, we are really double our own age. So 7 was really 14. And 8 was really 16. And 9 was really 18. And 12 was 24. And 15 was 30. How old were you? How old was I? How old are we now? We look at our bodies and we see our ancestors. They tell us not much has changed since they were in chains. We feel the tension, the pain in our bodies weighing us down. The way they were weighed down. We feel their memories as we relive them ourselves. Because we're still going through this. Black women are still going through this. Black people are still going through this. This was once called slavery. Now this is called life. Living. Freedom. What will our children, our children's children, our children's children's children, what will they call it? How will they remember us? How much of our joy will we pass on? How much of our pain? What will they create from it? What will they have to? Will they even be loved outside of our home? Will this world cherish them? Protect them? Deserve them? Remember them? It's the story I tell her. What she tells me, we are strong, powerful, wise. Because we have to be, and no one else will be that for us. The first time Nia told me I was strong, powerful, wise, I was having a nervous breakdown in my bedroom, suffocated by my sheets, my tears, my snot. I couldn't take the onslaught anymore. Nia lifted my head, looked in my eyes and said, "You are strong, you are powerful, you are wise." I repeated after her countless times and held on to her words for dear life. And I'm still breathing. Strong, powerful, wise. We remind each other every day because as two black, lesbian women, we need to remember our strength, our power, our wisdom, as ancient as the world is and deep as her oceans. We resemble the darkness that created her, and we love her energy. For that reason, those who fear her, fear us, and are doing all they can to destroy our love, destroy our lives. They even use us as weapons against each other because while here too, black, lesbian women, we are different. She's dark, I'm light. She's not masculine presenting, I am. She's younger than me by 6 years. She dances, I write. She lives in her body, me in my head. She comes from a loving home. Mine is broken, so when she tells me I am strong, powerful, wise, she reminds me that I'm safe with her, within myself. With us. But it's hard to remember. I'm strong, powerful, wise. When it feels like she's not on my side, but I'm not always on hers. Like when she told me she was followed in a thrift store. I replied, "It's probably not that serious, probably not because you're dark-skinned." But then it happened again, and again, and again, and again, and I can no longer ignore the fact I'm on the brighter side of our shared oppression. There are times when we take pictures at night, and for whatever reason, the flash isn't working. I don't have to wonder whether or not I'll show up in the frame. And she's often been the only dark-skinned black woman at a dance audition, looking around the room, knowing she didn't stand a chance, but still she danced, giving her best, showing them she was there, she would be seen, she wasn't leaving, she is strong, powerful, wise. But I still question our strength, our power, our wisdom. When people challenge me with their eyes, their postures, their tones of voice, and all I'm doing is wearing a tie and talking or walking and holding her hand and wanting to be called Ness and not Vanessa. Why do you get so upset, she's asked? Because I'm not who they think I am. I'm not a man or trying to be one. I am a black, lesbian woman. I am strong, powerful, wise, strong, powerful, wise, strong, powerful, wise, strong, powerful, wise. We walk together, holding hands, holding your gaze. I hear her voice. I listen to her words. Strong, powerful, wise. You can join us too. We are strong, powerful, wise. Strong, powerful, wise. You can say it at home. Strong, powerful, wise. 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 Strong.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know the emotional intensity is, as you described earlier, just incredible, and to be able to express yourself, I'm so appreciative that you share that piece.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
Of course. And what I really love about your work, it's accessible without an artist statement. It's just like, it's raw and it's just there.
Yeah.
And you know what you're getting. You don't really have to decipher it.
Mhm.
I mean, had you created stuff prior to this in your life together that was less emotional, or is it always had to been this?
I feel like it's always.
It's always been, but
Yeah.
it's not because we make it or like that. I don't know. It happens naturally.
Yeah.
We're really intense people.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely. I've been told that.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. No, I think it's just the intensity of what it is that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, like I'll speak for myself with this, but there's no other way to get it out. So this is it. This is how it's going to come
yeah,
out.
for me too. Like I started dancing because I have a speech impediment. So sometimes I talk a little too fast. People can't understand what I'm saying, or I have a lisp and I stutter sometimes. And so I got made fun of a lot for having my speech impediment. So I knew I wanted to speak, but I felt like I couldn't with my words. So I found dance, and that helped me say everything I needed to say without speaking a word. So, yeah.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I hope so
No,
too.
well, I mean, yeah, it did, and you know, it's so a lot of this performance sort of circled around your performance Blind Spot,
Mhm.
and I recommend that anyone who hasn't seen the video to go search it online, because it's an amazing experience even at home because of the closeness of the venue and the intensity, and you experience it also through the eyes of your onlookers. And how was that experience for you, being in such a small space and creating that?
Well, it wasn't actually supposed to happen that way. When we got
Yeah.
there, we thought we were going to have
A lot more space.
Yeah, more space than we did. And it ended up being just very narrow. For me, at first I thought maybe I wasn't going to enjoy it, but there was something about the tightness, the closeness of it that just, I had to break free. I guess maybe I'm a little claustrophobic, which I didn't even really think about, but maybe.
The funny thing is I love tight spaces. Like, I think it's my dad's fault. Actually, today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy
And when I was a baby, he used to swallow me really tight in my blanket. And I think after that, like, I love being like, in the middle seat. I love being in tight spaces. So doing that piece felt like home. It felt more comfortable than it, even though like I love performing on big stages too, where we have a ton of space, but there's something about a small space and all of us in that tight space. And also my first form of dance that I started in was crumping. And crumping is a form of hip hop that's very raw, that came from California. And you're in spaces like that, in tight spaces, and you're feeding off of that energy. And so I thrive in tight spaces. So yeah, and I love connecting with the audience in that way too. Just looking at people in the eye that closely, and
they can't run. And
neither can exactly. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was perfect. That's what I was gonna say. So you're good.
Really, like that exactly?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. My feet are going. I don't know if you can like see it. I know, because like your feet can touch the ground and mine can't.
Awesome.
No, you don't have to. I'm just saying it's funny. Like, anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, tight spaces.
But it's good to be comfortable too.
Yeah.
And so
Yes,
as we try to help you guys with the
I know. Yeah, we
comfort of
feel
the-
really at home. Like,
Yeah.
like, no, I should just like.
There you
This is
go.
how we actually.
That's
sit.
exactly how we do it.
So let's do that.
All we need are a couple of cats.
I know. We're very.
That would be nice if a cat could cross the picture right now, but unfortunately, there are no animals in the idea garden at this
Okay.
point in time.
Good
But
time.
hopefully, we can bring some back.
Yeah.
So it being such an intense process. I mean, what is that like to create art and to explore your existence and to be authentic and and to be how the world sees you and to mirror that back at people and how do you develop that and what is your artistic process through that?
Well, for us, it always starts with a conversation.
Mhm.
We'll be at home talking about something, and then another situation will happen around the same kind of theme, and we'll just keep putting them together. And we're like, okay, we need to create something about this.
Yeah.
Our piece, Blind Spot, we created how many years ago?
2016.
So yeah, I was on a website called Dance NYC, and they had a call for artists on there, and the theme of it was "She Who Tells a Story." And I was like, "Oh, Ness, we have lots of stories to tell. Why don't we create something for this?" And that was the birth of Blind Spot. We created it in my parents' backyard in Teaneck, New Jersey, because we couldn't afford rehearsal space, and they had a backyard. So we were like, "Okay, great. Well, we'll create this piece in the backyard, and we'll figure it out." We don't care if the neighbors are looking at us while they're walking their dogs. Like,
It's just an audience. to
Yeah.
practice for.
And after we created that piece, we were like, oh, we have so much more to say, so many more stories to share and to tell. And no one else is telling them. We weren't seeing any of our stories being told. And we were like, okay, like we need to keep doing this. And that just created, like all of our other pieces came from the birth of that piece of Blind Spot, the one we have these outfits on. So yeah, do you want to add anything? Or?
I mean, like in terms of the process, like after we have the conversation and we each kind of break apart into our separate like spaces to like create, Nia like goes through movement in her head,
and my body too,
in your body, and I write things, and then I have to do more drafts and edit things because my first drafts they're a lot more they're a lot more intense than what we bring. And then we come back together and share what we have. And like, hey, Nia, is this this experience that you experienced, am I saying it in the right way? And she's saying, okay, Ness, this experience that you experienced, did it kind of feel like, not like feel like this, but like look like this kind of?
And feel like this too.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm moving and telling your story through my movement, I am thinking about what you were feeling in that moment. If I was with you in that moment, I think about what I saw your body doing, how I saw your body posture shift or change, what your face did, if your skin complexion changed, whether it was getting lighter or more red or something like that. Like I'm thinking about all those things when I'm telling your story through my own body.
I didn't know that. See, the thing that I love about these artist talks is because like there are things we find out about each other that we just did not know. And like you think, oh no, you know these things, of course, you talk. But yeah, I did not know that. Wow. Aw.
That's super awesome, and it's kind of amazing that it seems like your artistic process feeds your presentness, and you're sort of paying
Yeah.
attention to what each other is feeling. And I
Yeah.
imagine that it's like your relationship goes into like hyperdrive if you're that aware of each other.
Yeah, we're really like, I've never experienced a connection like this with anybody else in my entire life, like ever. Like the way, like it's just I questioned the word soulmate before until I met Ness, and like I was like, oh, like when we met actually online,
Yeah.
and it was on a Wednesday night / Thursday morning, and we were like texting and whatnot throughout the week. And then I had a show that weekend that she invited herself to. Sips water. And from when I walked out on the stage, and the lights came up, the first person I saw was Ness. And it was wild because like where she was sitting at wasn't the place that someone would normally sit. Like usually if you come to a show early, you want to sit like right in the middle in the center and get the perfect seat. She was like off to the left a little bit. And like, it was almost like she knew I was going to be in that spot. Like, it was wild. Like the lights come on, all I see is Ness. I was like, what the heck? Like, whoa.
She looks so scared. She's like
for a half a second. Okay. But just from that moment, that connection, like I knew I was in love with Ness that first day we met in person. Like I knew. And I didn't want to say it because I was 20 years old. And you're like, like that's not love at first sight. That's not real. That's BS. But I knew. It's just like the way, like, the way we move in space together, the way that like we both have like social anxiety. But I don't know what ancestors, the universe, how they created this, because like when I'm feeling more insecure, Ness is more confident. When Ness is more less insecure, I'm more confident. And it always balances out this way. Like when one of us is like freaking out, the other one's calm. And it is not planned. It's not like we say this is gonna happen. It just always happens like that.
Yeah.
For almost 8, it'll be 8 years next month. Like it still shocks me. Yeah, our relationship, it floors me every day, honestly. And I just feel so grateful that I get to, like, there's no, like, our relationship, everything it's all intertwined in the most beautiful way. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like, I love it. And I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, I'm really, really happy right now. Yeah.
That's awesome too. And Ness, what brought you to that first experience of searching Nia out? What was the impetus behind?
Actually, I searched you out.
Yeah,
I slid in the DMs.
She did. So I was on this website, and I get a message from Nia, and I was like, oh wow, like she's like beautiful, and she's writing like a paragraph, because a lot of the people that I was messaging with, it was like one word, back and forth, like messages, but it was like a nice paragraph that was like, hi, I'm Nia, and I go to school here. And, I was like, oh, wow, like, yeah, this is someone I would like to get to know. So I sent her my number for her to text me, and she did that night. And we just had like a really beautiful conversation back and forth. She was telling me about dance, and I was telling her about writing. And then she mentioned having a show. And so, yes, I invited myself.
Wait, no. Wait, we need to rewind that back, because you asked me what I was doing that weekend.
Right.
And I didn't want to lie.
Right.
But I didn't want you to come to that show, because it was like I was wearing like white face paint. And like when you meet someone you think is really cute, you want to look, for me at least, I wanted to look a certain way when I met Ness for the first time. I didn't want her seeing me in this like intense, like heavy white face paint makeup and dancing to like metal and like heavy metal music. Like I was like a beast, and like
it was amazing. It was like the best dancing. Like your dancing, just, I've said it before, but I mean it. It made me fall in love with you. Like, I mean, among other things, but like really, like you got me. You got me. And like I still love watching you dance, like every single time. So yeah, that probably was the impetus, as you said, like for us actually like being maybe together as a couple was like, yeah, like seeing you on stage, seeing you move, seeing you after, and like our connection.
Yeah. And
Like,
our conversation too, like
yeah.
we connected so deeply so quickly. Like we were talking about things that you don't talk about like on a first
Yeah,
date.
like family and
Family
like
and exes and trauma and
Yeah.
all these things. Like we would be talking about trauma on our first
right,
date.
like 2 dykes. Like we talk about trauma on their first date. 2 black dykes. Yeah, that's
So it sounds like your upbringings were sort of different paths.
yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
maybe how you have a lot of you can share each side of you, and kind of the other one supports
Yeah.
what the other, what's missing. That's I think the best relationships work that
yeah.
way.
We agree.
Yeah.
And do you have a shared role model, or was that a separate path as well, and on the art side?
Yeah, with role models, I mean, so we actually, when we met, I was taking a class on Audre Lorde, who was a Black lesbian poet, writer, mother, warrior. She passed away from cancer, I think it was 93. But yeah, one of the things that really stood out to me about her was that she defined herself. And her thing was, you have to define yourself or other people will. And calling herself Black, calling herself a lesbian, calling herself a woman, that felt so empowering to me. So yeah, with our work, I know that's a big reason for why we do that. So anyway, in terms of shared, I took the class, and then Nia danced to a poem that my friend and I had done. So I kind of want to say that Audre Lorde was like our first like shared role model, kind of, because then I don't remember, you hadn't really.
No,
No.
I had never heard of Audre Lorde before you,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, so that for me, that would be the one that we
I
shared.
agree.
And then Shonda Rhimes.
No,
Okay.
I was saying, I mean,
Right.
yes, but I feel like when it comes to the dance side, the urban bush women,
Yeah.
and like that was for me when I started like training in dance, like late to the game, quote unquote. I started when I was 15, and all I knew at that time was Alvin Ailey, and it was because like, okay, I'm Black. The route is going to Ailey. That's that. And then when I got into my freshman year of college, my modern dance teacher was like, there's other Black dance companies out there other than Ailey. And I was like, what? I didn't know any of this. No one told me any of this. And she introduced me to the Urban Bushwomen. And I was like, whoa, I can be powerful and I can be aggressive and I can have my body type. Like I can have thighs and I can like have a butt and I can like do, and I can have a large chest and I can have my hair. I can do this. Whoa, I didn't know I could actually be myself and be a dancer.
Right.
And while of course I love Ailey, but that's not me as a mover. Like I love watching them, but that's not how I move. And seeing the Urban Bushwomen, I was like, whoa, I can be me.
Yeah.
And I felt that translated into our work.
Right.
And we got to see them live together as well a few times as well. So that's been really awesome.
Got a shirt and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about authenticity, and I imagine, growing up, you're not able to be your authentic selves, or you feel, I mean, society just stifles authenticity. For people of color, I'm a white privileged male gentleman, and my experience of the world it's done a 180 over the last decade with what I've learned, and the world was never opened to me in any way to access that concept. So I see where you women are forced into sort of holding back. So I guess at what point did you realize? Did you say like, screw it, I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm going to share my authenticity.
I mean, it's still a process. Like I still hold back. Like in terms of like just walking around every single day in the world. I think that if I were to fully be myself, I might not be here. There are things that I want to say. I would never be able to actually just say and be okay as an individual. So I think being a Black person, being a Black woman, being a dyke, you kind of have to hold back. You know that you need to hold back a little bit because the world is not going to have you as you are. That's why, for me, this is a release, performing like this, because I get to say those things. I get to put it out. I still hold back with some of it. Like, I'm not going to come out here and say, certain things, but it's a release. What made me want to do that artistically, I want to say it was listening to like Christian rap when I was a kid. My mom and dad, I wasn't allowed to like listen to a lot of secular music. So they would buy me Christian rap CDs. And I would hear, I forgot, I think one of them was True to Society. And there was a woman rapper. I don't remember her name, but I remember her voice. And oh my God, it was just like so much power there. And I wanted to like be like her. And I just wanted to just speak like her. So yeah, I mean, that's what did it for me. And in terms of sharing my actual story, yeah, it was the class with Audre Lorde, but also it was meeting you. I think those two moments in my life happened at the exact right time. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I've always it feels so weird calling myself authentic. We have to talk about this a lot. It feels like I'm authentic, but like I know that that's not. But honestly, I don't know any other way of being. And that has been a very sometimes lonely life. Like I got bullied a lot in high school for dressing the way that I do, for liking the things that I liked. Like I was the girl eating alone in the stairwell, that kind of thing. And then it was nice. It was really beautiful having art because I was able to express myself and express things that I couldn't really share with anyone, it felt like. And a huge turning point for me was my senior year of college. I attended Temple University in Philly. And I decided to do a piece on racism in Philadelphia and gentrification. And it was because I was walking around and seeing all of these white students, it's trash North Philly, leave and then go back to their white suburban neighborhoods and their white suburban homes and just leave Philly a mess and then wonder why the locals are angry. Well, we're stealing, and I didn't know what gentrification was until I got to Philly. Because the area I grew up, it wasn't a thing. I didn't know what it was until I got there, and I was like, why do the locals hate us? And I'm like, oh wait, Temple's expanding that way and expanding that way and taking these homes and taking that. Oh, I would be pissed the fuck off too. Yes, they have every right to be angry. Yes. And then these white frat boys are throwing block parties and trashing people's cars and whatnot, and then wondering why people are angry. Oh, well, I would be angry too. So I wanted to do something to give back to the city that gave me so much. It gave me my voice. It gave me my love of my life. Like it gave me so much. So I created this piece, and I knew people weren't going to enjoy it because not enjoy it, but it was very much along the lines of the work we do now. It was very blunt. It was very in your face. It was very much the white dancers were wearing one thing and the black dancers were wearing another. Like there was no way around it. And it was such an amazing experience because especially most of my dancers were freshmen, and having a lot of these young white women like be in this piece and learning about race and learning about gentrification and like wanting to put in that work, I was like, whoa, okay, let's do this. Let's shake this shit up, okay? And then so that was like the tip of the iceberg when it came, like the start of the iceberg, honestly, when it came to being authentic fully in our work. But even before that, it was us doing our piece together.
Yeah, the first one.
Our first piece together, The State of Quality of Being with Purpose. Mouthful now. Very different than Home and Run. But it was about the first year of our relationship. And I didn't come out as a lesbian until I met Ness. I secretly identified as bisexual from 15 until 20. And then I met Ness, and I was like, I can't hide this anymore. Like, I can't. I have to. And then, after I came out, and then we created this piece. It was just like, boom. And then after I graduated, I danced in a company out in Germany called Daga Dance Company. And we worked on this project called Grenzland, which was borders. And I believe in German. And my role in that piece was me being a Black American and not knowing where I came from Africa, and like how do I navigate this life, like knowing that I have these ancestors that I can't actually learn about. I have no idea where I'm from in Africa. Like, I have no idea. So we were working on this solo for months, and like it started off being very choreographed, very structured, and then it turned into just basically me being a force of energy on stage, just standing in one spot and just moving. And in this piece, she had about, oh God, I don't remember how many refugees in the piece. It was about
it was at least 20.
Yeah, at least 20, probably 30.
Yeah.
And they were in the audience from all over Africa. Oh my God, so many different countries in so many different languages. It was amazing. And they were in the audience as I performed this solo. And the love I felt from them, the energy that they gave me doing that piece, it changed my life forever. And from there on, I stopped worrying about my feet being perfectly pointed and how my face looked. And I cared more about honoring my ancestors, honoring my lineage, honoring our spirits, honoring myself and the people that I love. And like from there on, like my movement changed completely. So yeah.
Thank you for that. If anyone out there has any comments for Nia and Ness, please put them in the comment section. I'm trying to keep up with social media. It's not normally my my thing, but
you're doing great.
Oh, I appreciate it. You guys are
you're doing so great.
Way too kind. I fashion myself as a social media person, but not really. Yeah. We talked a little bit about healing before, and about coming up to the Hudson Valley. Do you want to talk about how that experience has kind of changed your direction?
Oh my goodness. Like, we were living in Brooklyn for 3 years. And while we had some beautiful experiences in Brooklyn and met some really amazing people, it was not for us. We did not feel like we could breathe. It was like we were doing this work and we weren't feeling any kind of like healing afterwards. It was so much.
The giving, but not really the receiving.
Yes. Yeah. Because we faced a lot of trauma in Brooklyn, and we knew we needed to get out, and we knew that we needed to be in nature. We knew that. And then we got this apartment in Rosendale, and it has changed our lives. Like, we feel like we can breathe again. We feel our healing. Like, the way that we've been healing, babe, for this past year, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that was possible. Like, I didn't know it was possible to feel this way. And of course, we're still Black dykes, so we still deal with shit up here too. We still get the looks. We see the Trump signs everywhere. We see the Confederate flags. You know what I mean? We still deal with that, but it's not in the same way as when we were living in the city and living in Brooklyn. Yeah. And just like the way that we're able to just rejuvenate.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We can
recharge. Yeah.
We can go back in our backyard and just like be in the woods for a little while.
Yeah.
Take the nature, hug the trees.
Yeah, be greeted by frogs at our door. Yes, last night we were greeted by a giant frog. It was amazing. The night before we were greeted by another little frog. It was great.
I thought it was a spider. It was so small.
Was this on a walk or just at your house?
At our house, like at our door. We were coming home from I had pole class.
Yeah.
I shout out to Hudson Valley Pole. I'm a pole dancer as well. Yes. And we were coming home from class, and there were just frogs on our front steps. Yeah, it was so amazing. Cute. Yeah,
we got a picture too, and it like looked up.
Yeah, yeah. It's been so healing out here for us. Just even like when COVID hit and everything shut down, like we were like, whoa, like the way the universe got us up here just in time.
Yeah.
Because we moved up here in October 2019.
Yeah.
So like we didn't know COVID was going to happen. We didn't know about any of this.
Right.
And then as soon as we got comfortable, like settled in, it was like everything was shut down. And we were like, oh, well, we live on 6 acres of land and there's a lake nearby so we can go kayaking. Like, this is what?
All right. I mean, I guess it's a
Like,
blessing
oh my
a little
God.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I found myself being able to be much more present up here.
Yeah.
Just kind of be in moments a little more, you know. Yeah. The nature.
And speaking of the universe intervening, someone has asked a question about like this exact moment of being in the pandemic. And obviously you're recharging, but are you also able to still perform and write during the pandemic?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of virtual shows. It was easier last spring and summer because we were able to do things in our backyard. And then when winter came, we had to get more creative. So we started incorporating my pole dancing and we started doing like poetry and pole where we created a piece about, actually, it was so sweet. So our anniversary is on April 12th. And last year, Ness made a poem about the first night we met in person. And it was so beautiful. Like, 'cause I know what I felt that first night, but it was so amazing seeing that night through her eyes. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I want this piece to be like shared. So and I'm like, and it's getting cold. We can't perform outside anymore. And it's getting dark early. So we started creating poetry and pole and like collaborating with that and creating more work about our love than our trauma. And that's been healing. And focusing on that, like it's been really, and you've been taking writing classes. I've been pole dancing in like a lot, a lot.
I feel like my writing has gotten better in the pandemic. I think obviously the writing classes, but then also just the time to actually sit and be with my thoughts and be with you. I think that's definitely, it's helped in some ways. Also, we started a podcast, which has been fun, where we have like the conversations that we talk about as being the start of our process together. We're actually having those conversations now for people, like not in front of people, but for people to just listen in on.
It's called Reclaiming Love with Nia Ness. Season 1 is on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and season 2 is coming out next Thursday.
Wow.
April 1st.
April 1st. No fooling. I always love saying that.
It's a great tag. It's a great tagline.
I've actually never gotten to like say it like that. So that was like a great moment. Thank you for
it reminds me of the
humoring me.
70s for some reason.
Yeah. I mean,
They used to do that a lot. Out of nowhere, you would have some tagline come in.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the podcast, you get to hear all of Jess's dad jokes. So.
I'm very corny. I am. It's fine. I'm embracing it.
I mean, I'll never forget your name on when we met online was Only Ness.
No.
It was Only Ness. I will never forget that name. I was like, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Now I'm like, that was really corny. But like back then, I thought you were so cute. I feel like
you thought it was corny then too. I think you like made some kind of a joke about it. Yeah.
I probably did think it was corny.
So I'm glad like we ended up together. I would have had to change. Like I would have been traumatized. You have an eyelash.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was.
Yeah.
So we're sort of winding down at this point. Is there anything else? I mean, you guys would like to express, or any other plans for the future you guys want to delve into?
Or are we creating more work?
Yep.
We were really excited about incorporating more of my pole dancing, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah. And more reading, I think. I do enjoy like performing, like memorizing things, but there's also an energy that I like where I'm reading and looking at you and then looking in the camera and being there's that too. So I'd like to kind of delve into that a little bit as well. Let's see.
And like I said, our podcast comes out next week.
Yeah.
Which we're really excited about.
Yeah.
You can also like follow us on social media.
Yep.
On Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
Maybe you're watching this on Facebook, so you probably already are on our Facebook page.
Right. But in case not, at Nia and Ness, NIAANDNESS.
And thank you for the idea Garden for having us here and
Oh,
All the people behind the
no,
scenes. Radio Kingston.
Yeah.
The honor is all ours, and thank you so much for taking the time and energy and sharing your view of the world. It's powerful, and it needs to be heard and seen more.
Thank you.
And I really hope you have more opportunities presented to you because you guys really deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank
That means
you,
a
Matt.
lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'd
you.
also thank you guys. And I'd also like to thank Radio Kingston and
Yeah.
Women's History Month Kingston. And also give a shout out to Sadie Brathwaite, who
Yes.
you might have seen some of the
Yeah.
paintings on the
Mhm.
outskirts of the presentation. You can go to the Idea Garden and there's a virtual walkthrough of this gallery presentation. So thanks to everyone out there, and really appreciate you taking the time and being a part of us, the experience tonight. See everyone soon.
Good night.
Good night. I don't know what it's ending. Yeah.